Alright buddy, welcome back to Sasquatch Performance Garage. Today we are going to be working on my mom's 2007 4Runner with the 4.7. Last weekend I did an oil change and noticed that we had a lot of oil leaking from the valve cover gasket on the driver's side. So we're going to change out both of those and do a tune-up while we're at it, because she's actually had this car for many years and many miles, and we have kind of neglected it. Haven't done spark plugs or timing belt or anything like that, and she's at 220,000 miles, and she got this thing at 35,000 miles. So we're going to go ahead and dig into that. We can't do the timing belt this weekend, don't have enough time right now, but we will be making a video on that as well. Let's get to it. First thing we're going to do here, we're going to take off the little cover right here that says Toyota 4.7 along with the intake here. There are about 3 hoses connected to it, and you definitely want to make sure you take those off before you damage those hoses. So here we have the original Denso Iridium plugs. We are going with a NGK laser Iridium, really good option. NGK is just a really great brand as far as any of the spark plugs. These are an Iridium as well. They do have a service interval of 120,000 miles, so you should last us for the rest of the time that we have this vehicle. I am sure of it. And then we look over here, and this was our problem here. We have our valve cover gasket came off in pieces, just really hard, brittle rubber, which, you know, after a good amount of years, any bit of rubber that's exposed to heat and all that will get hard and brittle, turn it into almost like plastic. So that's our main issue that we were working on here with this valve cover leak, and we will continue to pull apart the rest of this engine, or the rest of the other side, the driver's side. We're on the passenger side right now, but everything else looks good in here. No wear on the camshaft plugs or anything like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this little cover right here. We're going to inspect the timing belt. Like I said, we're wanting to do that, but just don't have the time to do it this weekend. Alright, so I'll take off the passenger side timing belt cover for the head. Belt looks great still. I mean, after 219,000 miles, no cracking or anything like that. Even the teeth look good, so we still will change it. I am just not as worried about it anymore. I was kind of, once I realized it was 219,000 miles old, told my mom kind of not to drive it much anymore, but currently it does look good, but we will still change it within a reasonable amount of time. I will be taking off this little camshaft cap here. This is held on, or the gasket there is silicone. Since the rubber has gotten old and brittle, that silicone will most likely be brittle as well, so I'm going to take that off. It's not too hard, and everything will stay in place still. Just replace it with some new RTV. Here we have the valve cover with the new seals put in. Kind of a weird situation with these. You kind of feel like you're damaging it and not doing it the right way, but there's these little tabs right here, and you got to pull those up with, start off with a screwdriver and then pull them up with like a pair of pliers, move them out of the way, and that way you can then get a seal puller and pull out the actual grommets. Once you put the new ones back in, get those pressed in, then you just hammer down on those little tabs again to get those put back into place. Alright guys, got our button back up. So one little thing that I did that I don't recommend doing is these little cam gear covers right here. I decided to take them off because I kind of thought they'd be leaking. They are only sealed with some RTV silicone, and being this is a 2007, you know, we got a few years on this thing, and you know, again, 219,000 miles. But the cam gear cover cap goes kind of into the camshaft gear, and because of that, you actually have to loosen up the camshaft gear, take it off a little bit, and to get that to pull this out. So I don't recommend doing that unless you're actually doing the full timing kit. And just because of that, you know, it took me a little bit longer than what I was expecting to do, because I, you know, started pulling some stuff apart that I shouldn't have pulled apart. Got it put back together again, like I said, for my mom. So we are going to go ahead, close the hood, and go from there. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Again, you know, Sasquatch Performance Garage. please consider subscribing. We got more videos coming, so appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.